Hello everyone, my name is Lasse Seppanen and I come from Häme University of Applied Sciences from Hämeenlinna, Finland. And I'm a teacher, principal lecturer in business IT, so basically I'm kind of a nerd, but I need to teach business also. And I've been part in a project, you see the logos there, the idea behind my part was how to predict the students who would be interrupting their studies as early as possible. And we use Moodle as a platform, and we use that all the time. All the teachers use it, all the materials are there, all the tasks are there. So that was the natural point of having some data to analyze. And the way we are using it led to thinking that not the daily data is important, but what about collecting the data per week? And the pre-assumption was that if the students per week don't use Moodle enough, so they might be in trouble. And also, I tried to locate very simple algorithms and methods to work with this data. And here you can see possibly the most beautiful picture of the whole conference. This tells about the logins of our first-year students, so that this is the time when they enter in the beginning of September, then they study for these 8 weeks, then we have a week off, then we study until Christmas, and this is the Christmas break, 8 weeks, week off, and so forth to the summer. And it's very easy to detect here that there are some low logins here. These students here, well, they are also very easy to detect by the student counselor. So even without this kind of picture. So she just goes to the classroom and asks, where are these couple of students who are not participating? That's very easy. But also, what we noticed after running this data through and through, that there are students that are very active during this time, and then they lower their interest. And this group was very interesting because some of them came to the third period, so we have period 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they came and they were active here, but none of them continued to the fourth period. So this time of the year, actually this week, next week, this data can be used to detect whether the students will be on our premises in April, May, quite reliably. So this is very interesting for us at the moment. So how do we get those students into contact? So the analysis went to this very simple formula. So if the students logged into Moodle less than 4 times in a week, so they were in trouble. If more, so not so necessarily. And if we use this formula, so within a month, we could already detect like half of the students who were going to interrupt the studies. And after 2 months, this was already quite reliable. So late November, like now, we could predict pretty nicely who would interrupt their studies. Unfortunately, we don't know why they did, because we are 1 year late. So what we think was programming. So at the time they lost their interest, we started teaching programming, and on the 4th period there's also a heavy load of programming. So that could be one reason. So what we did with data, so IT management of HAMK was very helpful. They had been collecting data all the time, and so pretty much I was given the data like on the plate, and I just needed to analyze that. Well, we did have some problems with that. First, the data needed to be cleaned. So there was unnecessary data we needed to get rid of. So actually, there was too little data also, because if there's 0 logins in Moodle, so Moodle doesn't detect that. It doesn't report this student hasn't logged in during this week at all. So we needed to get that kind of data from other systems, so making a relationship. And then there was the data of legally absent students. We needed to get rid of that. The student counselor was thinking about the mails, why are you talking about this and this and this student? They shouldn't be here at all. And finally, after processes, we got the real deal. And the student counselor gets an automatic email. She doesn't have a fancy dashboard. She gets an email every Monday. And it looks like this. It's only black and white. It doesn't have even colors. So it says the student code, name, how many logins, and a telephone number. And based on this data, the student counselor first goes to the classroom, asks the students whether all this is correct, and then calls. So it's just robust and simple.
But you're just looking at the way they log in.
Yeah.
Is that my understanding?
Yeah. This is only based on the logging frequency.
You don't look what's behind that, which I would do as I said I was a linguist, so it's like you're counting the number of logins of your students, and then you predict what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And you never look at what the content maybe of the course is or other issues at the same time?
Well, actually, I would have that data, but I wanted to keep it very simple to start with. So I have cumulative data from Moodle, all the tasks, whether they have answered the tasks or not. I have that kind of data. But to start with, I wanted to keep it very simple and understandable.
Okay.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Thank you.